David Agondoa on the sign language interpretation beat. Now, with the target of planting over 200 million trees today, President William Ruto led a nationwide tree planting campaign in Kiambicho Forest in Murang'a County. Ruto said the exercise is part of the government's plan to plant over 15 billion trees and raise the national tree cover from 12% to 30% by 2032. Our reporter Margaret Kimathi begins the broadcast.
In honor of those who lost their lives as a result of the floods that have ravaged various parts of the country, Kenyans across the country joined the nationwide tree planting exercise in a bid to mitigate the brutal effects of climate change. In Murang'a County, President William Ruto led leaders and residents towards planting over 20,000 seedlings in Kiambicho Forest. He underscored the need for Kenyans to ensure they plant more trees, saying it is the only way to stop the extreme weather patterns that have resulted in floods and drought.
Inachagia sana kwa kiuchumi, inachagia sana kwa hali ya anga. Kwa hivyo hata tukiwa kwa maboma zetu, pahali ukipata nafasi, miti inasaidia kwa saa hizi na hapo baadaye.
Today we are planting 200 million trees in a single day in Kenya as part of our plan to make sure that we plant 15 billion trees in the next 10 years and move our forest cover from 12% to 30%.
During the tree planting exercise in Marsabit County, Interior CS Kedhure Kindiki warned those who have encroached on riparian reserves and corridors to vacate immediately, and those who declined will be forcefully evacuated. So far, the government has relocated more than 180 people who had constructed shelters and were living near the Nairobi Rivers corridor.
The government has ordered all those people who have constructed houses, businesses, or those who are farming in the riparian corridors to vacate that corridor. And if they don't, we will remove them by force.
But we started from that side.
Interior and National Coordination Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo joined the Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen in planting trees at Gembe Hills. The PS say the flood victims currently camping in schools within Homa Bay County will be relocated outside as schools set to reopen next week.
Our plan also is with KFS, is to make sure that we realign the boundary so that we know the part of the forest and where people live. And in the long run, we must be able to fence off this forest.
And we want to encourage the rest of the country that we are in the rainy season. It's a perfect opportunity for us to plant more trees so that the planting that we have done today should not be the end.
In Elgeyo Marakwet County, PS Treasury Dr. Chris Kipto, in collaboration with the Kenya Forest Service, marked the Worldwide Fund for Nature Kenya pre-launch of the 8th edition of the annual Kiptagat tree planting, with over 60,000 seedlings planted today, marking a total of 1.7 million tree seedlings planted. Kakamega Governor Fernandes Barasa now says the national government should direct funds meant for disaster management to counties. Speaking during the National Tree Growing Day, held at Nzoia Forest Station in Lugari Sub-County, Barasa said the devolved units are better placed to cater for flood victims and avert potential disasters.
Watusaidie pakubwa kwa sababu hapa Lugari, Likuyani, Malava na pia sub-county zingine tumekuwa na visa tofauti za mafuriko na familia nyingi watu wanaishi katika shule, and yet the funds are still in national government.
Cases of Kenyans who lost their identity cards and passports to flooding will be treated as an emergency. According to Immigration and Citizen Services PS Julius Bitok, the ministry has opened an emergency registry at the Nyayo House where victims of floods who lost documents will be processed with immediate effect. Margaret Kimathi, NTV.